All right, the No Cap Podcast, episode 4, starting live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the No Cap Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, James Kapp. Alongside me is co-host Mitch McCrone, producer, cameraman Logan Lewandowski, behind all the equipment as usual. We have an extremely special guest on today. First team All Big Ten in 2009, Big Ten most valuable player in 2009, 13th overall draft pick in 2010, Eagles captain, Super Bowl champion, Brandon Graham on the show today. Brandon, thank you so much for coming on today. We appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. Definitely an honor to be on here.
Thank you so much. So what we're going to do today in the episode, we're going to allow Brandon to talk about his life, where he grew up, his football career. We'll fire off a couple questions here and there, and we'll fire off some questions at the end, but we'll allow Brandon to speak, and the stage is all yours, Brandon. So let's go to where it all began, where you grew up.
Well, grew up on the east side of Detroit, single parent household with my mom and my sister. I was the oldest of 3 sisters, 2 on my dad, 1 on my mom's side, and no brothers. So, man, football was pretty much where, I really pretty much had my brothers, on the field, people that I've been to war with on that field, man. Just growing up in Michigan, it was tough, especially Detroit. But if you got people, you got to make choices. And I felt like as I went through life, I made my mistakes, but some stuff I didn't go back to, some stuff I had to learn the hard way. Luckily, it didn't take me away from, my dreams, but, you just go through the trials as you grow up, but I felt like for me, it was more so who I was surrounding myself with. You got to start to surround yourself as you get older with like-minded people. And I was able to have good coaches that really stayed on me. I had a lot of guys that was, with me at the time that was on the same path. Some people fell off, but you know how it goes. Just as you keep going, you start to see different things happen to other people based off our decisions we make in life. But I think for me, it was always thinking about my mom, making sure that I change our situation if I can. I got an opportunity to change our situation, but it's gonna be on me. And so I always tried to, every time I thought about doing something, in the back of my mind, it always was related to, man, will my mom be proud of me off the decision? Because I would hear her mouth all the time about me hanging out with my friends and stuff like that. But I wanted to make sure that I didn't bring no trouble back so that I could prove her right, So, yeah, man, that was pretty much it. Got a scholarship, an offer my second year, my third year, my junior year of high school. That's when things started to turn up a little bit for me. Mm-hmm. I felt like, just even with my coach giving me the exposures of going to the Michigan State camps, and I would go to Michigan State, go up there for their camps, and then eventually Michigan offered me to come to the Nike camp, and then that's when things started to really take off because of what they seen in those camps. So I really credit those camps, man, of me going out there getting exposure, because I felt like that's where they get to see you on a more one-on-one. They might can't talk to you, but they get to see you, and they get to see what you're all about and your attitude and stuff like that. But that's how you kind of get on the. Oop, there we go. My bad. But yeah, man. Anything what I'm saying you want to ask that I kind of missed, but that's just a little bit, based off what I can get off the top.
Yeah, I would ask. In high school, you played for Crockett, correct?
Yeah.
So did you just play linebacker in high school, defensive end? Did you play at all?
Oh, so I played linebacker all the way till I got to college. And then when I got to college, that's when I gained a little more weight than I would like. But obviously that was the best decision I ever made, because, during that time. So what happened was I played in the U.S. Army All-American game, and in Michigan, you can play out of state. You can't play in out of state all-star games, or you be suspended from all spring sports. It's like an advantage, like if you contact with my eligibility was gone from all spring sports after I played in that game, and Michigan changed the rule now, but I ended up going anyway. And so the whole time from January to June when I reported to Michigan, man, I wasn't doing nothing. I was working out, but not like really, I just really felt like I've been overworked. So I'm like, man, I'm about to enjoy my senior year. I'm about to do this. And my coaches kept on telling me, man, work out, come work out. But I'm like, man, I'm work out. Let me have my fun my senior year. And pretty much when I got up there, man, I had gained like almost 40 pounds, not even realizing what I did until I got up there and people started looking at me like, that's the linebacker? You know what I'm saying? And so they ended up putting me in the D-line room, man. And I had guys like Lamar Woodley, Rondale Biggs, who else? Terrence Taylor. I had guys in there, you know what I'm saying, that right away was out there, just balling, but showing me the way. And that's what I could thank. I had Lamar Woodley, who really helped me make that transition, seeing him every day, trying to follow some of the stuff he do. Once I got the hang of it, man, it was just like clockwork after that. It was on me. It was just the work you put in is what you're going to get out on that field. And so I could credit those guys from that transition. It was a tough one, but I definitely made that switch.
Absolutely. And I mean, what are your favorite memories from playing at Michigan?
You know what? Having that three sack game against Wisconsin, the 500 game, that was one of my proudest moments because we was down 19-0. And then we came back and beat them. We had Michael Phelps at the game. It was a packed crowd. it was a good time because Michael Phelps just won all them golds, and he came to the game. It's the 500 game in Michigan. We down 19-0. It was just one of them games where Wisconsin was just beating us, and then we ended up rallying back, and I ended up getting a strip sack to for the drive for us to go ahead, and then we ended up they ended up scoring again. And I don't think we went in overtime. Oh, they went for 2 and they didn't get it. And we ended up winning like 27-25 or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yep. And man, we it was just one of them real good games that I had. And thankful, man. I got a bunch of games though, but I think that was one that stood out to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, 500th game. I remember that. Comeback and packed crowd, everybody going nuts. And what a performance from you. Absolutely.
Man, Rich Rodriguez era. That's when he was here.
Yeah. Mitch, got any questions about Brandon's collegiate career?
Yeah. So Brandon, I'm Mitch, and obviously you can't see me, but I would just like to say, thank you for taking your time out of your busy day and schedule to speak with us today, man. Appreciate it. We're big fans of yours, man, and we're really excited to have you.
Absolutely.
The opportunity to talk with you today. So, really excited. I just wanted to kick things off with the first question. So, you talked about playing high school football. Getting your scholarship offer from Michigan your junior year of high school. Detroit Crockett, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. And then, what was that recruiting process like? Because you talked about Michigan State going to the camps and all that, but just take me through again what that was like. Because everyone wants to be in the same boat, getting recruited. So was there like a bunch of scouts and coaches from different universities? Sure, there were, but what was that like?
Well, when I first got a whiff of it, it was guys like John Thompson who was getting recruited by Michigan. He ended up going to Michigan, but me being there when he was there and playing, that got me exposure. And then on top of that, my coach would always take guys up to the Michigan State camp. For my first 3 years, I was going up there, no offers, no nothing, just going up there for exposure. But then after my junior year, I had a really good year and played really good that year. And Michigan was one of the first teams to offer me a scholarship. And when we went up there, it was just, I think it was an official visit. I went up there and they offered me a scholarship. And man, that's when everything took off after that. It was just like Penn State, Michigan State, I mean, USC, Miami. I mean, like you get letters from everywhere. Like, I don't know how they got I mean, I know they got how they got them now, but you didn't know, like, how do they know where I stay? They got all these letters coming. They got handwritten letters of, man, we want you here. We would love to have you. They never really offer scholarships until you show interest in them. But for the most part, Penn State was on me tough. USC was one of them, and then you got I could have went anywhere that I wanted to, but I chose those was the teams that I was really. Michigan was the team that I wanted to go with all the way, but I wanted to enjoy like trips and do different things, enjoy the whole process, because it was so many scouts that call your phone, so many people that's just trying to get in contact with you. Man, it's one of those things where Michigan offered. That's when things turned up for me, and I think even the people around me, friends, everybody, they get happy, but you get some people, you get a little jealousy too, and it was just tough. You start to see what you need to see from people during them times too, because guys that's not going your way or people not going the same way you going. I had to remove myself from certain people, and that was the toughest thing for me. The people who I hung around, because I was just so easygoing. I mean, really didn't. You wouldn't even know, and I have got offered to Michigan, because it wasn't nothing that I just really boasted about, but I had people around me that boasted, like my mom, dad, everybody. But sometimes when you boast about stuff, or you got people boasting about you, people tend to have different feelings towards you, and so I had to learn that, man. I think that was one of the toughest things for me, was how things started to change in that area, of the people that I was around and how they started to view me. And I wasn't even in the NFL yet, but people see the potential of me actually making some money and stuff like that, man. So I felt like that was one of the things that I had to learn, was to surround myself with people, that was happy in life, period. Off, if they was doing something, and even if they wasn't, they just, that's just who they are. So, I had to get away from a lot of people, man, during them times.
Yeah, I can only imagine being a top recruit like that and having all that attention. And I mean, like you said, you're extremely humble guy, but people, when they see that success, they're going to start, people that you've never, maybe spoken to once will try to be your best friend all of a sudden. You got to know who's been there since day one, who's been genuine, who you can trust. And yeah, that's probably one of the most difficult things, is making those decisions. And, for yourself, that this person, I can't have them in my life because I know what they're going to.
Yeah, it's not ready. They not ready for your success. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people just ain't in that place because they not there yet. And so I understand that you got to have boundaries with people. I mean, not saying that you ain't got to deal with them, but you got to know what situations you got to put yourself in with certain people, because everybody can't handle, some of the stuff that you starting to see now. And I felt like, I wanted people not to see me, or say I changed, but really my situation changed, and you got to make some changes. You have to. And so if I can tell any young guy coming up, just make sure that you got a good team of people around you that can buffer, the crowds that tend to want to come around and just hang around if you let them. And so I think for me, I just had to surround myself with people that could help me buffer between, what's real and what's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Mitch, you got anything else you want to ask about high school, college recruitment?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So Brandon, I mean, I'm sure you went through a lot of adversity, growing up and all that kind of stuff, but how hard did you have to work preparing yourself for the NFL?
Man, you got to work hard. I mean, and the number one thing is you got to make plays on the field. And so your preparation, your film study, you got to know the plays. That's the biggest thing. If they don't trust you to get out there and do what they coached you to do, you don't even have a shot. So it's certain guys that got the ability, but some people don't have the smarts to be able to, learn that stuff on the fly. You got to be able to go straight from the meeting room and go right on the field, no mistakes. They have zero. It's just like a zero tolerant type of. I mean, you can only get so far before they let you go. If they can't trust you out there knowing what you're supposed to do, that's one way for you to get out real fast. And so I think for me, people got to be students of the game, got to make sure you take that part serious, because even in the at a pro level, at a college level, you got to be a pro. You got to be able to separate yourself from this guy is good, but I know why we do this. I know when, you know what I'm saying? If you know the why of why we doing certain stuff, then you can then you know where to be. And I feel like that's why I tell people, like, if you know why coach is telling us to do this, you got another guy coming here, you got this, everything works together in our defense. And if you don't do that, that's number one, man. And then on top of that, you got to be able to make plays on the field. You got to be in position when your play is there to make, is there to be made. You got to make sure that you make it. That's the only way you're getting attention. People sometimes will see how you look and they'll go off potential, especially at a young age. If they see you got a body, but just feel like you ain't got the coaches, a team will go out on the limb. Everybody's not fortunate like that. I know for me, I was an undersized DN when I made that switch from linebacker to DN when I went to college. But at the end of the day, you gotta come with something different. You gotta come with something that they can't coach. You know what I'm saying? Other than, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta go out there and be you. And for me, it was always being relentless, always making sure I'm hustling to the ball, my effort, all that, because I knew I was undersized at my position. But that stuff ended up working out for me, getting in the best shape that you can, eating right. You got so many different things. Some people got the eating right down. They got all that down, but then they can't get on the field because they don't know the plays. And then you got some people that can't get on the field because they got weight problems and they don't be able to last long. I know for me, my biggest thing was the eating right, making sure that my weight is not a problem and stuff like that. So I had to grow as a player when I got to college, because that's what they would say. You know, you got to be able to be in shape, and it starts with how much you weigh and what you're eating, and that's when I learned about all the nutrition, and it got better as my years went on. But that was one of my struggles that I had to work hard to do. And people might think it's easy because I make it look easy, but you know that ain't easy. When you a fat boy and you want to eat, you know you got to make your choices, like what's important. And when I had my kids and my wife, you know, she pushed me even more to make sure that I just get better every year. And that's where I'm at now. I try to make sure that I work on what my struggles been. And I feel like the eating right part has been good. Like my cheat meals is Saturday, Sunday. And I really don't even go all out on that because I like how my body look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't been this good. But
it's motivating.
It's motivating for sure. And so that's why I feel as a player, you got to be able to police yourself. And that's how you really separate yourself from the guys, because everybody's not doing it. And you know that we all got stuff we got to go through. But some people, you know, feel like they can get through on it because their ability is good. Everybody got their reasons on why they want to cheat themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have been there. You got to make sure you fight against that. And I think that's what helped me out. I fought against the majority, but some stuff you just got to keep learning as you go.
Yeah. You talked about being undersized for a DN. You're 6'2". Would you say that's been a chip on your shoulder for your career?
Oh yeah. You know, just letting them boys know that I'm gonna make you eat those words. I know when I first got drafted, they called me a bust because I had tore my knee. I had microfracture surgery. It took me like 2 years for my knee to get right. And once I was able to be back out there, that's when everybody started saying, "Oh, he a bust, he this and that." And I even called myself a bust. I'm like, yeah, I ain't playing to the best I can. I felt like before my knee, I was starting to get it, and then I tore my knee. And the guys that were supposed to get drafted to Philly that they wanted was going to the Pro Bowl. Earl Thomas, you got Pierre Paul. We could have got. It was a lot of guys that went places that, you know what I'm saying, like all the Pro Bowls, all the All Pros, the list, and you know I'm at the bottom. And I'm trying to work my way back to getting on the field, and you know the fans quit on me early. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
and that's what you deal with as a player too, because it wasn't always peaches and cream and all that good stuff when I first got in the league. It was tough. It was tough. It was times where I didn't want to be in Philly. I couldn't wait till they cut me. But when like I say, you start to surround yourself around people that's going to give you positive vibes and positive information.
Yep.
You know, they started to help me, and guys like Trent Cole, Jason Peters that play on our team, they started, you know, helping me, saying like, hey man, just worry about what you can control. Just make sure that you get your knee right. Make sure you get this right. And then once you come back, man, you got a shot. If you went first round, they're not gonna just cut you. They just, you just got to make sure that you're ready when you're ready, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. And that's where I started. I changed my mindset, man, and I started saying, I'm gonna make them eat them words. I'm gonna make everybody eat those words on what they saying right now. And I was stressing. I was stressed out during them times. It was tough, but like I say, I had a couple guys that was in my ear that always helped me. And it just changed my whole mindset around it. And man, I ended up, you know, winning the Super Bowl here, making a big play on Brady at that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that went to Michigan.
Hey, another former alumni, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's legit because you beat him. You know it ain't easy. And it wasn't easy that game because they still had one last shot to score a touchdown. He almost did it. Gronkowski almost caught that thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You talked about, you know, first getting to Philly, how, you know, the fans were really rough. I was going to ask, not just from, well, social media is such a big thing now. How do you, because nowadays, I mean, a player has one bad game and it's awful what people will do. I mean, they'll blow up their accounts with the comment section, just rip them apart. How has social media affected you, if at all, just, you know, with your career?
Well, you know what? It definitely helped me because at first I was real poor at it. I was bad because whoever would say something, I was real quick to say something back. But luckily for me, social media really didn't pop until I got here. College, Facebook was it, but then once I got to the league, that's when Twitter and everything started, you know, and that's when the Twitter was bad for me because I would always comment back on people and you know, go back at them. And once I started to see, like, once I met up, like I didn't even meet up with some of these people. These people would come to my sessions, like my autograph sessions, and I done said all this stuff. And then as soon as I see them, they are, hey, Mr. Graham, hey. And so it just made me look at it like, why am I tripping when these people, they just hide behind, you know, the phone
screen? Yeah.
Because when you see them in person, it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what made me start looking at everybody like that, the same way. If somebody got something to say, I just block them. And eventually, all these people that I block, like, please, can you unblock me? Please, I'm so sorry for saying what I said. I just want you to unblock me. And so I started to get out that game of like, man, people just gonna say what they gonna say, and that's just it. I'm on here, I just block them, and if that's what they want, that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that because it don't get under my skin like it used to. But I felt like in the beginning, if you're not good at it, don't let it be a distraction to you because eventually you're going to be mad because you wasted all that time going back and forth with somebody that you already don't really know, that's hiding behind a fake account, but you got to get your point across. But really it don't even matter because, you know, it's not changing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to start thinking about it different than what I was. And man, luckily I didn't have social media early on in my career, like high school, like some of these kids, middle school, high school, like they starting early, and to getting all this getting all this, publicity with, the social media, getting a good following, but people got to know it's going to be ups and downs with it. You got to go into it expecting that you ain't going to make plays every play. You're going to give up a big play to lose the game one time. You're going to make a play to win the game sometime. And it's good when it's good. And when it's bad, people going to make it the worst thing, like it's the end of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's really not. It's a week to week. And once you know what I'm saying, do something good next week, they're going to forget about what you did the week before. You know what I'm saying? So you just really got to change your mindset. And if you can't handle it, get off of it for a while and then come back to it until you're ready.
I think you're absolutely right in the regard of people. It's so easy from behind a phone to just say, whatever, but 99.99% of those people, they see you in person be, oh, hey, can we get a picture? Can we get an autograph? They wouldn't dare say that in person. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's tough, but I think, you got the right mindset. Can't get too high, can't get too low. Got to stay even keeled. And if you can't handle it, step away from it for a little bit.
Step away, man. Get where you going first. That's what I had to do. I had to step away, get where I was going. And then when things got good, I still didn't jump on because, I ain't want to jinx it. That's how I was. But then I ended up getting back on. And man, it was just, like I say, it's an up and down ride. And you just got to be able to just block out the noise, and don't get too high on yourself, especially when people, patting you on the back.
Right. Yeah. You talked a little bit about your injury, Mitch. I know you had a couple questions about just, keep getting your body right and everything. You want to ask about that?
Yeah. So Brandon, going through, high school, playing all over high school football, playing college football, playing NFL football, still running, man. How is your body holding up after all these years of playing football?
Man, you know what? I feel good. I was just talking to somebody about I got wear and tear like on my shoulder, but it's nothing that's taking me, that I'm struggling with. Like, oh man, I can't get hit, crazy in this area or that area. I've been this offseason been strengthening like some of the little muscles that I never really paid attention to. That's helping me, be able to have this longevity, I feel. And then even with the massages I get massages twice a week. I get acupuncture once a week. I got a schedule with my kids. I got a schedule with, just with myself and the kids, and got the wife, got her little stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's I always make sure I prioritize just my body first, before anything. So I do Monday and Friday. Start the week off with a massage, then a Friday I end it off. And this during the season, sometimes Saturday, depends on if I can't get in Friday. And so yeah, man, I just make sure I take care of myself. And eating wise will definitely help help you be better, because you don't want to have all that weight on your limbs. And that's the wear and tear that we talk about that you don't see until you have an injury. And then it's like, dang, if I didn't have all that weight, I wouldn't put all that pressure on my knee when I put that force in the ground. At least I'd be a little lighter. And I feel like that's where it's just all about your regimen and what you do every day. And I think just what I do, I stretch, I make sure I roll out. It's stuff that you could easily just kind of, because I'm feeling good, I ain't got to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I do it because I'm feeling good and I still do it. And that's one thing that I learned from other guys. Even though you're feeling good, make sure you stay on your regimen of what you do. Keep your body loose, keep everything, feeling good. And as you get older, you got to continue to keep losing weight. And that was my biggest thing too, making sure that I'm staying low, because I used to play at 280, 285. Now I'm like 275, 270, and sometimes in the 60s, if I'm doing real good. But if I could stay 60s, man, I'll be flying out there. But that's, like I say, that's our struggles that you deal with. I know I can, and I am right now, eating real good, but it's just during the season when you go to different places like Miami. You got New York. You go to eat Italian somewhere. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? It's like so much of what they known for. If I came to Philly, I'm getting a Philly cheesesteak.
Oh
Because
yeah.
we flew out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the struggles happen during the season because nobody's holding you accountable other than people will if you tell them to, but people are going to treat you like a grown man. And so I think for me, when I made my mind up to actually start doing right, that's when I started to see a difference in my body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you said, even if you're feeling okay, just continuing on that regimen, being proactive so that you don't have to react to something going wrong. I mean, that is huge.
Man, it's big. That's what everything, even with what you doing, you got to practice every day. You got to get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And even if you're feeling good and you feel like you got it, it's always good to keep it going because we all stumble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just got to make sure that like, it becomes muscle memory.
Absolutely. You talked about, traveling around, all the good food. I was going to ask you, being a professional football player, your husband, father, traveling around all the time for games and stuff like that. How are you able to balance the family life with the work?
When I come home, I just make it all about family. And not try to bring work home. Sometimes, just to talk with the wife. I talk with the wife about something. But other than that, I'm pretty much I try to leave work at home. I mean at work. And when I come home, I try to just be present. And that's one thing that I had to learn because at first it wasn't like that until the wife told me, like, I just need you to be present, when you hear and this and that. And it wasn't easy at first because I thought I was being present, but you sitting around not doing nothing with the kids and not being interactive. Like I'm talking to them, but I'm not playing games with them. I'm not, going over flashcards, all kind of stuff that I could be doing with them. That I was seeing that I wasn't doing. Oh, okay, now I get what you're saying. And so I take them out, bike rides. I sit in here. I got a play area right here. We you know what I'm saying, they got their little gymnastics and stuff.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we moving right now. So all this stuff, it used to be full in here. But
okay.
But now we moving because we're here for the long term now in Philly. And so we just went on ahead and got a house. And so, man, just trying to make sure that I don't be too busy for my family, and that's number one. Making sure that I live by that. And so if things happen where something happened at work, if I want to get through it, I got to talk about it. So I talk about it with the wife, and that's how I kind of I bring it home, but at least the wife know where I'm coming from on certain stuff. And so. And sometimes that make me feel good to where I'm not even worried about it no more because I got it out of my system. I talked about it. But sometimes some stuff is just like, man, I can't wait till tomorrow because I gotta fix this. Because coach on me today. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's just all about how you deal with certain stuff. And I felt like I started to deal with stuff better as I kept going in my career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mitch, do you have any questions you wanted to ask about just the NFL season and traveling?
Yeah, Brandon, again, man, geez, you were responsible for one of the biggest, if not the biggest play in Philadelphia sports history.
Yep.
But however, what was the Super Bowl week like for your, the players and family? What was that like?
Man, it was cool. We got out there Sunday. And then we checked in. Man, we had stuff all in the room, like gear, headphones, all kind of stuff, man. It was cool. The gear that you got was real cool. And then just being in Minnesota, I can only imagine if we was in like Tampa or Miami, different places.
Yeah.
Because Minnesota was fun, but Minnesota was so cold that like I ain't never felt that cold in a long time. And It was that cold. Even after we won, our family didn't they didn't have buses or anything for the family to go from. You had to get your own way from the stadium to the after party for the family. You know what I'm saying? So my grandma, everybody then came and they was trying to get to the after party, but they had to walk from the stadium, and it was like probably 10 blocks. Man, and then when I say it was the coldest I ever, like, I had waited on them. I was outside trying to make sure that they get in, but we had to keep going inside because it was that cold, and I was mad because I'm like, dang, how they, but we ain't never won. We ain't never been to the Super Bowl, so it's not like if we was with Tom Brady and them, they'd already been there, so they kind of know the system on how it go. They will have stuff for the family. So next time when we go, we'll know we got to make sure we had the buses for the after fact. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Like, I just felt like that was our first time at the Super Bowl. We didn't know what to expect. The team didn't either, and and they didn't have everything. They had the party set up, but they didn't have the transportation set up for family to do certain stuff. So I just feel like with anything, when it's your first time, you always gonna just kind of go and kind of learn, and hopefully you go again so you can know what you really need to do, what you don't have to do. You know what I'm saying, when you had that experience.
Yeah.
But boy, it was a great week though. Great week. Practice. Practice was live. I mean, not just hype. You know, people was excited just to be down there. You can just tell with our team that, man, we had a bunch of guys that been there before too. That was a key thing for us. We had Blunt in the running back room. We had Torrey Smith in the receiver room that won one with Ravens. We had Malcolm Jenkins, Chris Long. That Chris Long just won one when he came back against New England. When New England came back against Atlanta, and he won one on a 1-year deal there, and then came to us on a 1-year deal or a 2-year and got one that first year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some lucky stuff, ain't it, boy? Yeah. So it's just like when you think about it, man, is you don't know what the future holds for you. And I'm all and that's why I say, like, I try not to look at all the sports and stuff, all the analysts, people that know it all. Okay, this team is the best. They got the chance to do this, but it's really all about the teams that stay together. And with that team 2017, we was together all year. We didn't have to push each other to practice. Like, it just kind of happened naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like when I think about it, man, people was talking so much stuff before practice. Like, I ain't like we was going against them. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you could see why it translated to the field so good because of how the intensity was, and practice didn't even seem hard. It just was fun because I know these guys really take their job serious and they don't want to lose. And so my job is to go out there and make myself look good just as much as you trying to look good. And man, that was a fun year, man. I could just say that was a really fun year.
Yeah, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but you had the dog masks for the underdog mentality.
Yeah, underdog, man, because people still didn't give us our just due. Our record was real good. We was 13-3, and people still was like, I think they ain't got it. But that's because Carson went down too, and so that's when we embraced the underdog. It didn't matter who there. We gonna get it done.
Yeah,
and that was our mentality. And man, we just ran with the underdog mask once Chris Long and Lane Johnson came out with them. We just ran with it, and man, that was one of the coolest like just of people, because man, the personalities, like, if you know Chris Long, them boys just funny, they smart, you know what I'm saying? Like, they creative, think outside the box on certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was just cool. I learned a thing or two, you know what I'm saying, from them that year. And it's just, man, it was a cool group of guys, man, that something that I always remember.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. I mean, Super Bowl Sunday, could you take us through that experience? I mean, were you able to sleep the night before? Were you up all night like, oh man, here we go?
Well, man, I was playing the game for the most part. Yep, all night, because we know in the morning, I knew I was gonna have time to lay down, at least get 8 hours, because the game wasn't until 5 that night, because it was 6:30 or 6:20, I think, um, Eastern time, but we was on Central because we was in Minnesota. And yeah, I just know when we got a night game, I got time. So I was playing the game. I was just relaxing, man, trying to keep my nerves good, because I'm like, dang, this is the last game of the season. I ain't trying to lose no energy. I'm just trying to make sure that I just do what I normally do. I'll always be on the game the night before the game. That's one thing I do. I always bring my system. I got my little travel case. I don't know what the new they don't have a system for the new box right now, but I got a little travel case, and it got a screen. It's like a 19-inch screen, and you plug it up, you play. I play online, play with some of my boys the night before, and then even the day of the game, I'm on the game, because it just keep me in the room. It just keep me occupied and relax. You know what I'm saying? I don't even be thinking about the game as much. And then when it's time to go, that's when I kind of kick it into gear. And that's when it's all about the ball. Then I got my headphones, I got my playlist together that I already put together. And, always jump in the shower right before I had to get on the bus, and then I'm out, get to the stadium.
There you go.
Sweet.
Yeah. Biggest stage, in the world for a game. Cameras, lights, action everywhere. I mean, when you got out there for your first snap, was it kind of just like, it's just another game, or was it wow?
It was wild before. Like it was the intensity was at an all-time high when we first ran out. We ran out to Dreams and Nightmares, man. Then
that's so awesome.
The captains walked out, man. That was tension. We was just standing there looking at them. They looking at us. They'd have been there before, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to get started. And once they did the kickoff, it's like whatever. Like you had your little butterflies, and you're like, whoo, it's time to, like, you got to run out there. You don't know how they coming. And the first play they ran on us was everything we've been working on. It was so crazy. Like how Tom Brady them do what they do is, for the first half, they gonna run plays that you struggle with during the season. And we was working on that's why we had, them 2 weeks before, we worked for that first week. Normally people take the bye before the Super Bowl because you got the Pro Bowl now in between. And so we took that as an extra week. And so we practiced that week, and coach pretty much, was telling us, like, I've been with Belichick and them before. I know how they do. We got to fix our issues. And so we went over this little receiver screen. It's like a fake one-way throwback screen. And man, they ran at the first play, and we ate that thing up. And I was like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when we knew it was on. And they ran like a trap the next play. We killed that. Man, we was getting killed on traps. We killed that. And then, Brady started throwing. And man, it was just like a fight after that. Like we would score first, then they score, then we scored again, then we kind of chilled for a minute when we should have went up a couple times. And it was just like, just when we was about to take off on them, they score again. You know what I'm saying? And it was like last second, Brady threw something and they caught the ball. Like it was just one of them crazy Super Bowls, man, where it was like nail biting. You know what I'm saying? But it felt like we was just in a regular game after that. I even pulled my hamstring in that game where I thought I was gonna have to be out. I was on the sideline the first half, like rolling out my hamstring. And I just ended up going back out there. I put some, icy hot on it, and man, had to go. And it was hurting me at first, but man, it was so crazy because the second half I didn't feel it at all. After I started playing, it was like regular again. And I wasn't scared to, put force in the ground. And man, to make that play off a hamstring, you know what I'm saying? Like, boy, Cause I wasn't getting out that game regardless, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? when I pulled my hamstring, boy, I was so pissed. Like, dang, come on, baby. I know it ain't pulled all the way, but it was just like a strain. It was just strain. And man, I put the ice hat on. I kept rolling out after every possession. And man, eventually it went away. And man, made that play. And boy, I ain't looked back since.
Yeah, on that play, they moved you. You were inside at the nose tackle position, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. D tackle, yeah, because I would switch in and out. Like they will always want like 3, or they try to put the best rushers out there, and we always end up having 3 ends because I can play in the middle, and Fletcher Cox will be in the middle too, 1 D tackle, and that was our turbo. That's what we call turbo, and we went out there. Man, I knew Fletch would always get the double, and so I had the 1-on-1. I was, beating them with power playing power most of the game, and I went, push pull on them. I figured I'd get the edge on them. Man, push pulled them, got around the edge, seen Brady standing there, hoping that he, release it right before I get to him. And as soon as I got in that zone where I just knew I got a chance now to hit him, I threw my hand out towards the ball, closed my eyes, and man, next thing you know, I opened them. That ball was on the ground, and my teammate picked it up so fast, it just didn't even process all the way. And man, once I knew, oh shoot, man, I ran to the sideline, went crazy. We was yelling for about a good 30 seconds, just going crazy, and and I felt like if we got the first down, it was game over. We ended up kicking the field goal, and then they had another possession where we had to stop them. Man, it got all the way down to 4th down, and what Brady do? Threw it across the middle, 1st down. Like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like that game was tight, man. That went down to the last throw, Hail Mary.
Yeah. Strip sack in the Super Bowl on the greatest or football player of all time. But I was looking at Super Bowl photos of you, and there's this one where you have the trophy. I think it's posted on your Instagram too, but you have the trophy, you have your daughter and your wife, and that,
oh yeah,
I mean, that shot, that's just, it's iconic. I mean, it's like, that's like king of the world right there. Like everything, you've got your family, you got the trophy, just everything you've been working for your entire life, all captured in that one moment. I mean, what post game, talking to your family, did you get emotional? Was it,
you know what? I didn't get as emotional as I, thought I would get, but I was proud. I was happy. That they was able to be there. And the wife didn't see it actually happening because she was on our way down to get ready for after the game, and so she heard about it. She ended up seeing it on TV after the fact, but when I actually made that play, she was on her way down towards like the field area to get ready, so that because they wasn't letting people down after a certain time. Like once it was over, what's the name was over, so she wanted to make sure she got down. And I had made that play, and everybody would see her and be like, "Man, yo, what's the name just made a play? Your husband just made a play," and she, was going crazy trying to figure out what happened. And so, man, that was, just know all the details of that stuff, man. It was like, it was cool because that picture wasn't even playing. It was just kind of us just up there on the stage, just sitting, just talking about it. And they called me when I was, kissing it. And it was just like, I knew I wanted to do that. That was one that I wanted to do. But it wasn't like we took that picture ourselves, like, oh, baby, take this picture of me. You know what I'm saying? It was just, dang, it's the moment right here. You know what I'm saying? On the stage, got the trophy in my hand. This is what I normally see on TV. Now I'm doing it. You know, it was one of them moments.
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, that's as good as it can get right there. Right. Definitely.
Man, I'm telling you, I want a little taste of it before I leave. Hopefully I get back one more time.
Yeah, run it back. Mitch, do you have any other questions that you would like to ask?
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, even off of that Super Bowl picture you were talking about, I mean, an incredible career, Brandon. Obviously, you've been very successful in college and in pro from start to finish. But would you change anything? I mean, absolutely anything, if you had the opportunity to.
What we talked about, that food part, I would eat right all the way through because I feel like I left some plays on the field, at every level because of my diet. But other than that, man, I don't have no regrets. I love the people I've met, the people that I played with. Even though we didn't win anything at Michigan, I was just thankful to be a part of just Michigan period. Because growing up a big fan. Yeah, man, but I would probably eat better because I'm eating right now, and it's like,
Right.
man, I can see a difference, and I'm like, if I could tell anybody, don't cheat yourself. Try not to cheat yourself in no areas if you can. But I think that was one of the areas that I've gotten better with over time. But I would go back knowing what I know now and be like, okay, now this is what I need to do. This is how I can stay on it. And this is similar to what I'm doing now. Like, this is how I stay on it. Give myself at least one meal that I can eat outside of this. You know what I'm saying? Outside of eating right every day. And man, my body's responded well to it, and I'm happy where I'm at right now.
Your diet, I mean, what's that like? What are the meals and calories and carbs? What is it looking like?
Well, everybody's body's different. That's another thing too. I gain
Yep.
weight fast. People trying to get weight. I wish I could just be like, huh, man, there you go. You can get it all. So if you need 10, I got 10 for you because I can get that 10 right back so fast off just a couple meals. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy right now. All I'm doing is chicken, fish, sometimes beef, but not as much red meat, vegetables, rice, brown rice, and you just kind of switch it up as you go. I try to I try to stay away from the sugars, the snacks, because that's what gets you the snack and the chips, the little candy. I like Tootsie Rolls. I like all that little stuff. And that's the stuff that stay on you. And so for me, I just try to make sure I got healthy snacks. Most of the time I'm eating fruit like oranges. We do those clementine oranges. And that tend to work for me. And then make sure that I'm drinking water and stuff like that. Yeah, even now, like what I put in there now, I got coconut water and I got water. That's it. That's all I drink. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, it'll come on a cheat day. Like I might, have a sugary drink, strawberry lemonade or something on a day, but I try not to go crazy with too many refills. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, you just gotta do stuff in moderation, really. And that's what I learned. You can't just go overboard. Like I eat breakfast, but then I wouldn't eat again till afternoon or 5, 6 hours later, and then I'm eating big again. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned to eat every couple hours, every put something in my mouth every couple hours, keep the metabolism going.
Yeah. Keep the engine firing. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anything, Mitch? You got anything else?
Um, yeah, I'll just ask one last question.
Okay.
So Brandon, whenever, I mean, it's been a long career, but I mean, whenever the time comes, do you have any personal plans after football?
I'm gonna work with the team after football. I just bought a house out here. That was one of the one of the factors on why I made the decision because they offered me a job for after football, and I even got offered for NBC to work, on camera stuff, doing that stuff too. So I got a couple of options, but I think I'm gonna go with the team first, see what they talking about, stay in the football for a couple of years, and then if it depends on how it's working out, either go to TV or I could even do radio too because I've been doing radio every year here, having my little radio show during the season. So just trying it all out, man. You know, don't leaving no stone unturned. You know, so just trying to enjoy these last couple years before I retire.
Yeah, congratulations on those job offers. That's
For sure.
No,
that's
appreciate
awesome.
you, man. You know, I've been thankful for sure. Just trying to make sure that, like I say, keep surrounding myself with good people and making right choices.
Absolutely.
Jeez.
All right. Well, I think Mitch asked his questions. I got mine. Covered a good amount of ground. We'll talk a little bit after we stop recording, but before we do, Brandon, again, just extremely grateful for you coming on today. I know you're a busy guy, not just an NFL player, but a captain and a husband, a father, a lot of stuff going on. So for you to take time out of your extremely busy schedule, we're very, very grateful for that. So
Appreciate you, man. But I can hear them now. Them kids in there going crazy. They waiting on me.
all right, everybody, that's going to do it for No Cap episode number 4. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Follow Brandon on all social media, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.